Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. How are you doing, friend? Today we are diving into tapping into your quantum power, the magic of the quantum, how to quantum leap, explaining it all, breaking it down, offering some tools. It's going to be so good. I am so excited you're here because anything to do with quantum, like you're so my person. Even if you're brand new to this or it sounds kind of like out there, but you're somehow drawn in, or maybe you've done some quantum work with me before or on your own. Either way, it's so exciting because it does sound very like big and deep and expansive, and maybe even it is perceived as like advanced or something. But welcome to my corner of the internet. You are here for a reason. It's because we're of like mind, and we go deep, right? We go deep. So whether you're new to this or you are well versed in the quantum, I am going to help to activate this frequency today to help you to align with your next level, to have it happen in a shorter amount of time, because we're talking about rebirth here on the show. And as we make it through December, the process of rebirth hopefully lands us in a better feeling place. So that's why we're talking about quantum now, because we're kind of moving forward. And I like to explain to my clients that in self-growth, in manifestation, there's two different aspects in this way. There's the past and there's untethering ourselves from where we've been, from, what we've experienced. That's the healing work, the reprogramming, the, releasing what no longer serves you, Marie Kondoing your house, getting rid of things, decluttering. It's the sort of the getting rid of, the untethering part. But then there's also what I call future casting, and that's anything you do that puts you in that frequency of where you want to go. So even writing out a list of what you want to achieve or experience, or intending, putting forward energy, visualizing, anything like that, that really is about the future. I call that future casting, and we need to do both. We need to be looking forward and untethering, and then looking forward and untethering, and that's kind of how self-growth works. That's definitely how manifestation works and transformation. So quantum is definitely in the future casting category, and I am so excited that you're here, that we're going to talk about it. If you've been feeling, I don't even need to say if you, because you're here, so you have definitely been feeling the call for something more. Like you're stepping into a fresh version of yourself, whether it was 2025 or the new year or not, you're already doing that. You're feeling that pull. You're leaving behind the old stuff, you're moving forward, and we're going to help you to do that today. We're going to break down how I define when I say play in the quantum and how we can do this, quantum leaping, all that stuff, with some next level sort of pep talk energy as well to really inspire you. And then, of course, a few tools that you can use. So it's not just about setting goals for the new year or whenever you're listening to this. It's about an energetic shift that aligns you with a higher frequency, with your soul, with something more, with abundance, with what you want for yourself. So let's just dive in, grab your tea, grab your coffee, grab whatever makes you cozy, and let's get into it. Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you've been led here, and I'm so excited for you that you're answering the call to manifest more magic in your life. My name is Talia Joy, and I am committed to showing you exactly how to manifest more excitement, ease, success, abundance, confidence, love, and anything else you've been craving. So if you're ready to go on a magical journey of spiritual and self-growth to manifest the life you're meant for, we are now besties. Let's dive in. Okay, so let's start here. What does it mean to play in the quantum? So the quantum field, not to sound like a university professor, the quantum field is an incredible energetic space where all possibilities exist. So when I'm talking about this today, I'm talking about this to remind your soul of where you came from, to also shed light on the fact that we live in a universe that is physics. There is a quantum field, quantum physics exists. So it is physics, but it's also about the possibility of where you're going, of what's next for you, of being unlimited. So the quantum field is really where like self-growth meets creation, the art of deliberate creation. So if I've already lost you, it's all good. Sometimes even to my clients, they're like, okay, that made sense. And then you lost me because I go off on my tangents. But I like to think of this, the quantum, as an invisible playground where time and space are not the dominating factors. In fact, they're not really in existence the same way we think about it. But it's where everything you want, your dream life, your desires, it's already out there in this field, waiting for you to align with it. So in a very practical sense, the money that you want in your bank account already exists, right? The cash is out there. The numbers on the screen are out there. It already exists out there. It's just being like transferred around and distributed. So if you think of a really incredible product and you sell it, or you put your book out there and you sell it, or you get a raise or whatever, and more money is being funneled into you, it's not necessarily being like having to be created by God on the spot. It's just being redistributed, right? So the desires you have, the vehicle you want, the home that would feel so much like home, the partner, the right puppy, all of these things, it already exists in the field. So I want you to think in some ways practically. It already exists. The clients that I am yet to connect with already exist out there. You guys are listening. I have just not yet met you. So the people that are going to buy your art, or the people that are going to, even help you on your journey, they already exist out there. So we go practical and go, okay, the money, the Jeep or the, Mercedes or the Lamborghini or whatever we want already exists. It's about redistributing it into my bank account, into my driveway, into my hands, but it already exists. And that's what I want you to think of. Now, because it's possibility, anything exists in the way, again, practically, I like to use like random examples, like you could wake up tomorrow and shave your head off. No, wait, shave your hair off. I'm so sorry. Don't shave your head off. Okay. You could wake. This is a moment like, do I edit it out? Do I not? I'm leaving it. You could wake up tomorrow. I love when I say something deep, but like I mess up my words, but I'm like in it. So it sounds like you could wake up tomorrow and shave your head off. Okay. You could wake up, shave your head. You could shave the hair off of your head. You could wake up tomorrow and start the day with a cigarette, or you could wake up and start it with a green smoothie or apple cider vinegar. And this isn't about right or wrong, judgy. This is about possibility. Some people will smoke for 30 years and then they get a life-changing occurrence or a breakthrough or a breakdown, and all of a sudden they're like, that's it, I'm not smoking anymore. And they go from being a smoker to a non-smoker. Or you could wake up tomorrow and decide to go for a walk. You could wake up tomorrow and decide to speak kinder to yourself. The reason I'm saying all this is because these are all possibilities. You could learn a whole new language in 2025, and you could do really almost anything. You could buy new shoes, you could write a book, anything from big to small, you could move. But this is the thing, is we don't need to do all these things, right? You don't need to do everything that I'm talking about, but the possibility exists. We have choice. This is the part of this life experience where we truly do have free will. I believe that not everything in our life, down to every day, is like contracted in. It's fate, it's this, it's that. I think big events, key players are contracted and agreed upon to come into this experience, but in between everything is free will. All possibilities exist. You could wake up tomorrow and do yoga at 6 a.m. if you really wanted to, unless you have like a flight to catch or work to do, then you could do it at 4 a.m. But you could. The question is, do you want to? What do you want for yourself? So it's an invisible playground that possibility exists. So it's all about what you choose to do, your intention, realizing that you're already in the quantum field, you're interacting all the time. It's just where you want to put your energy. So I like to talk also, when we talk about the quantum, about momentum, because again, physics, momentum is real. The snowball rolling down the hill is real. If you even just lifted, I just want you to think like simple, maybe 10 push-ups every day. there's going to be a compound effect, right? And pretty soon 10 push-ups might go from hard to easy. Or maybe you decide to do 50. No matter how long it takes, you're going to do 50 push-ups a day. In a month or two, you are going to have some serious momentum. It's going to be easier. Your muscles are going to be stronger, your tendons and ligaments and your core and this and that. Like, there is a compound effect. What you put your focus on expands. So when we're playing with the quantum, it's talking about playing in unlimited possibilities, playing and realizing that you truly can do and be whatever. You could be more confident. You could be more outgoing. But again, you don't have to do everything. I don't think that an introvert needs to be an extrovert or everyone needs to write a book. It's about, what do you want for yourself? And when you look at what's next for you, when you look at your next level, this is where I bring in the her work. But of course, for you, it might be him or them, whatever feels best for you. It's that next level version. So I want you to think of 6 months from now, if everything went tippy top according to plan and you stayed on your path, even when there was, wobbly days up and down, but you devoted to yourself, you cared for yourself, you gave to yourself, you went after your dreams in your most authentic, lit up, consistent way. 6 months from now, best case scenario, who is that version of you? That version of you exists in the quantum. Because you can see, feel, imagine that version of you, even just a little bit. Just picture them standing. You might not see it fully in depth, or just feel an idea, an imprint of what that you could look like if you got up and did yoga every day or most days, or you devoted, whatever that looks like. You doubled down on what's already been working, whatever it is. You will have a compound effect. Hey, you found the code word. The code word is leap. So this is where we bring the quantum into the now. We play in possibility. We look at that next level version and we start asking them questions. We start embodying that energy now. We start looking at their thoughts, emotions, beliefs. And even looking, I've taught the her work for, maybe 6-7 years now. And a lot of times, even people that have been practicing this for a while, they slip into, or they forget that the her work, she's not perfect. It's not about that next level you that is perfect. They are not perfect. They are just a little bit more authentic, free and clear energy. They're a little bit more healed. They're a little bit more in faith and trust and belief. They've shown up for themselves. They have a little bit more confidence. They've healed through the things that you're going through now. So they're not perfect, but how are they different? And this is where we start to unlock the doors to quantum leaping. This is where we learn to align our energy. So instead of doing what everyone else says to do, and like, what is the plan? Like, how do I manifest $1,000,000.com? Like, how do I get the dream body? How do I meet my soulmate? It's not out there. It's in channeling that next level version of you, because your path is unique to you. So it's getting into quote unquote alignment. It is alignment, but I say that just because everyone throws around alignment. But this is what we're truly talking about, in line with your future self. So I want to talk about bringing this into the ground even a little bit more and how we do this. So this is a great time, in real time, when this is released in December toward, the very end of the year. A lot of you are going to listen to this in January. It really doesn't matter when, but it's a powerful time that we're invited to reflect and look forward. We're invited, although people like you and I, we always are. It's like we're always going through a rebirth, but to look forward and go, what do I want for myself? What do I want to step into that's new, right? And New Year's, people go from hating New Year's resolutions to loving it. I love a good fresh start. I just know that not everything's going to change January 1st, but I love any invitation to feel fresh. If you have a breakup or you move or you cut your hair, like, use these opportunities to feel fresh, whether it's New Year's or not. I think it's awesome. But it's an opportunity to hit the reset button, to really look at, what do I want going forward? So that's the first step. I'm going to offer a few steps here that you can start doing to really bridge the gap and understand quantum even more, or not even understand, but live it even more, to really integrate it. So start to get clear on, I want to say on what you want, but I know you've heard that 7 million times in manifestation. But what I'm talking about is that next level version. And some of us are specific manifestors and some are non-specific. This could be to do with your human design or just your tendency. And what this means is some people like to get way into the details. Like, okay, your car and it's the interior and you can feel the gear shift or the buttons. You can see the whatever. You can, like, everything comes, like the stitching on the seats, and that really lights you up. Or your dream life with health. It's like you can see it so clearly. Other people, it's about like, I want to feel free, or I can see and feel this abundant new car, but like, I don't really care what color it is, or I don't quite know the model, the make, whatever specificness, okay, not proper English, but whatever specificness comes forward for you, the level of the detail that you can see and that lights you up, that naturally comes forward when I'm like, okay, what else about it? And you get to a point where like, that's it. It doesn't really actually matter how specific you get. It's you getting as specific as what feels good for you. So when I picture a vacation, I might picture warm, I picture fun, I picture water, but like, I don't know if it's going to be Maui or if it's going to be Costa Rica. Like, I'm open. Or maybe you do know you want it to be Hawaii, or you know you want it to be South America, but you don't quite know. Other people are like, I want to go to this place and stay on that beach and I can see it and feel it. And that's great too, either way. But getting clear on that next level version of you. Taking a little bit of time, depending on your style, to journal, to meditate, to visualize, just even journaling out, like, in 6 months, I want to, or I will be, and then saying like, feeling free, feeling more confident, moving my body, like even that, just brainstorming, thinking about it, getting into that energy. Because even though for you, it feels like, well, yeah, like I want to feel good and I want to sleep well and I want to, have deeper relationships or less drama in the family or whatever. Everybody's you in 6 months looks different. I work with a lot of different clients, and trust me, their goals are all, even if we all want to feel freedom, we all want to feel health, we all want to feel lit up and in purpose. That looks drastically different person to person. Not everybody's favorite vacation is the same. Not everybody's favorite meal is the same. We are all very different. So when you're playing in the quantum, you want to be picking the timelines, the outcomes that really light you up. So what do you really want? And if $1 million or this much money is on there, great, go deeper as well. What is that going to make you feel? I want to be like paying my bills with ease. I want to have a clear like account when it comes to like debt or loans or whatever. I want to thrive. I want to feel empowered with money, or I want to feel confident in my body. I want to be moving around, like light on my feet, feeling agile. Really get into what it means for you, what that next level you is, or what they look like, how she feels, what they're doing in their life, not just surface level stuff. Really tap into what you feel you're made for. What are you made for? What are you here for? What is your rebirth? What does it look like? And I want you to start to feel into that, which is the second step, is when you start to get clear, feeling that energy. Imagine what it would be like to be there. So to already have it, but to just be beamed to the future. You're beamed to 6 months from now when everything has gone amazing, including your down days. You've met yourself with compassion, got out the energy, recentered, refocused, woke up the next day feeling better. Like you're moving through stuff. You're applying the work. You're feeling good. What would that feel like? Is it peaceful? Is it free? Is it light? It doesn't matter. It could be citrus. It could be a word that comes up because maybe you're on vacation. It doesn't matter, but what does it feel like? What is it? How do you experience it? What does it taste like? What does it smell like? And just feeling into that feeling of waking up on the morning of the day 6 months from now. What do you feel? When you stretch, what does it feel like to start that day? And then as we go through, it's important to understand in the quantum, because there are unlimited possibilities, and I want you to, my team is showing me right now a way that I'm going to try to describe it to you. So we are here in time and space. You're right here, like a pin on the map. And where you say you want to go is what we'll say the future for the sake of this conversation, right? You want to create more money. You want to feel this end result. You want to feel better in your life, etc. in the future. So when we dare to dream, when we dare to access the quantum and start to embody that version and start to think about that and imagine that version of us and start to align just even slowly our feelings, our actions, our vibe with that version of us, between the pin that is here and the pin that is the end destination, invisible connections start forming. So they're showing me the example of like electricity. Okay, we used to have like a science world thing where I grew up, and you put your hands on this ball and the electrical current would go and meet your hand. Do you know what I mean? However you look at it, lightning in the sky, an electrical current. And they're showing me like as soon as we start doing the work to embody the energy of that future us, invisible connections start to come. And those invisible connections are the people that offer us experiences, the clients that are ready to buy, the right person that our book gets their hands in, or the random job that opens up that allows you to get a promotion when you didn't think you could, the person that just shows up on the dating app that hasn't been there before because they were, making their way to you. It's those connections. So because in the quantum, we are not in control of the how, we are in control of daring to dream, accessing that next level energy, and then noticing where our intuition takes us, not thinking of the goal and then micromanage planning it all out. That's not our job. So the tricky part is letting go of the how, as you've heard people talk about before, because the quantum doesn't work on a linear timeline. Our job isn't to figure out the how. It's to access that future energy, stay in that energy as much as we can, and then leap when it feels right. When we go like, I don't know why, but I kind of want to like put my book up on this other site, or I'm going to go to this, wherever to sell my book. This new idea comes forward. Or in my business, I'll get hit with like a really great idea of a beautiful way I could serve people. And I'm like, oh my goodness, a container where for 2 months we do this and this with a one-on-one client. That feels so good. The ideas start to land. The notion to step it up at work, because who knows, an opportunity may come. And then you step it up and then that job just opens up out of nowhere. That's the connection. That's the electrical current buzzing us from one to the next. And that's the part that is tricky also for us, is to let go of that, but to focus back on our vibration and who we are being and that future us. So I want you, when we access the quantum, so to bring it back, the quantum field is the field of possibilities. Any you that you can imagine, whether you go dark or you go light, they exist. I know that when I was in an eating disorder, I was very close to a timeline of a version of me that never figured it out, that got so swept into disorder and drugs and addiction that I never made it out. Like that was a very real possibility. But I went a different path. I made different choices. But the me that all of a sudden starts drinking in the day, or the me that just says F it and buries into loneliness and isolation, like that could happen too. But of course, people like you and I, we're moving forward. We're expanding, we're healing, and we don't want that darker timeline to emerge. So what we need to do is imagine the lighter timeline. Imagine us in the future where we want to go. I know I meant for personal transformation. This is you saying it and me saying it. I know I meant for big things. I really want to overhaul my health in a way that feels really good. I really want to create a business or meet the one or step into my healthiest body. I want to love myself. I want to heal. We start to get clear on what we want. We start to play with a different version of us, recognizing that you truly can, in an unlimited universe, do whatever you want. And I don't mean like with all your minutes, because like I'm a mom of 3. It's not like I can I have to pick up my kids at 3:30 or whatever. So in that way, of course, we need to go to work and do our shit. But when it comes to what is possible, could I learn a new language in 2025? Yeah. Could I start walking every day? Yeah. Could I start going to that yoga studio more? Of course. Could I finish my book? Yeah. There are unlimited possibilities. And that's powerful because personally, I don't think I'm going to learn a new language because it hasn't even like entered my mind until right now. But there are things like finishing the book that I am going to do. So we don't have to do everything, but everything is possible. We can do whatever we want. So it's time to more powerfully choose what we want for ourselves. That's the power of playing in the quantum, recognizing that you are not tethered to your past. You're not even tethered to who you were yesterday. That it doesn't exist in the quantum. It only exists as a memory, as an imprint, as a thing that happened, but it's not determining your tomorrow. And this is why we do need, along with our future casting work, we do need the healing stuff. We do need the reprogramming, because you can hear this and go like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to get up and I'm going to journal and I'm going to spend me time in the morning. But if you get up and you're this close, with my fingers pinchy, this close to going like, F it, hit the alarm, that might be because you don't feel worth it. That may be from past patterns that you've yet to break free from. So we don't just go like love and light and that's it, because very real stuff comes up. But that's where we like cast to the future. And then as stuff comes up, we go, I'm noticing I want to sabotage this. What would me in 6 months do here? I would talk lovingly to myself. I'd say, come on, let's get out of bed. Let's make some tea. This is going to feel so good. You're going to be so grateful you did this. You're worth it. And I go, yeah, you're right. You're right, future Talia. I am worth it. That is more likely to get you on the mat, to get you eating your vegetables, to get you learning the language, accessing that future version, going, I believe in us. Let's do this. What would you do here? Right? Instead of just like, I should, because I said that by March I was going to lose 20 pounds. Like, blech, that doesn't get anyone out of bed, really, not long term. But when we access that version of us that's like, you're worth it, rooting us on with a foam finger, going like, yeah, number one, let's do this. You're worth it. That's what gets us out of bed. So quantum magic is about accessing different possibilities, realizing you are not your past, realizing you're not tethered to what you have or haven't done. It's incredible what we can do when we're motivated. I'll use this example sometimes here and with clients. Like if someone said to you in an awful circumstance, if you don't go for a walk every day, someone you love is going to be hurt or something like that. You'd be like, that's it? Like, okay. And you would make it happen. And the thing is when we have a clear channel to our dreams, when we do that healing work as it comes up, when we take that initiative for ourselves, when we invest that time in ourselves, when we devote to our goals and the healing work and the growth and all the stuff, it becomes easier to take action free and clear, because we're not fighting ourselves. We're not going, oh, maybe I should, oh, who am I kidding? I can't. And in some ways, wasting a lot of time when the quantum still exists. We can create a different tomorrow. It's just stuff comes up. So as I was kind of just starting to say, we do need to still use self-compassion. Maybe you've done inner child work or shadow work so that you can have the awareness of like, okay, I'm slipping into my shadow, or I'm slipping into wanting to sabotage because there's a part of me that doesn't feel worth it. Okay, that's where we apply our tools so that we get back to, okay, what does the me in 6 months have to say? What's a micro action that they would do? So that's where I'm going to end with another tangible practice. So the first tangible practice was number one, getting really clear to the level of detail that really suits you on what you want. What does 6 months from now look like and feel like? Feel into it. Imagine that until you feel a spark in your body. Like, what would it feel like? Would it be peaceful, joyful? Like, just try to imagine that, just practicing it. Even if it's difficult at first, just practicing feeling into that feeling, being aware of what it would feel like. Is it peaceful? Is it free? Is it abundant? Soaking it in. Trying your best to let go of the how, and instead of just noticing the things you're nudged and inspired to do. Once you sink into this, are you like, yeah, even a 20-minute walk every day. Like imagine just starting with that, doing a month of a 20-minute walk every day. Yeah, I could do that. And then you're inspired to do an idea and you're like, let's just do it. My future self is like loving that one. Okay, let's just do it. Starting to do that and taking those actions when we let go of all the how. And then we see what comes forward and we're acting from that quantum place. Our quantum self starts guiding us, which is the physical practice sort of number 2, or another physical tool you can do is ask, what are the micro actions that version of me is rooting me on to do? What did they do? Because they are you. They're not perfect, as I said. They are you. My quantum me isn't perfect. She just uses her tools when she gets overwhelmed. She invests in herself to keep her mindset high. She goes for walks to keep her body moving. It's not out of this world stuff. It's just she's so much more, or even just a bit more, 1 chapter's worth more, devoted to her path. So start asking yourself, what are the micro actions that version of me does to stay on that path, to get to that place in 6 months? Because all it takes is micro actions. Momentum picks up, ideas continue to flow, you stay devoted, and that's it. That's the glamour of a huge quantum leap, is accessing that future version, extracting how it's going to feel, how it's going to be, and those micro actions, and practicing being in that energy more. Does that version of you feel peaceful? What can you do today to create a little bit more peace in your life? Does that next version of you believe in themselves more? What can you do today? Is it listening to something? Is it investing in yourself? Is it doing a meditation? Is it doing some belief work? Like, what do you need to do? Because you don't need to stay where you are anymore. You can move forward. And it's a mix of that future casting, playing in the quantum, and using that untethering work as it comes up. So accessing that future version, realizing any you exists. Start painting the picture of who you are going to be in 6 months in a very real way. And make sure to include, when they get triggered, they're going to do this. When things don't go according to plan, this is what they're going to do. When they're tempted to throw in the towel, this is what they do. Out of love, out of devotion, out of worthiness. You have got this. Instead of scrambling for, how do I do it? How do I do it? What's the path? Spending a lot of energy looking out there. Spend time looking in here and looking to the future. Checking in with yourself. Journaling, visualizing, imagining it, and taking those micro actions. That is what causes a quantum leap. Okay, my love, as we move through this month, let this be your reminder. You have everything you need to step into your quantum power. You're already connected to the infinite possibilities that exist, and it's up to you to choose what you want to align with. So take this time to get clear, feel into your vision. If you want more support on this, I have an audio program. So it's hosted on a private podcast called Quantum Magic, and it is everything step by step, how to quantum leap. We go into the laws of the universe. We go into practices. There's audios for breath work and for quantum meditations, and there's everything you need over there to truly dive deeper into this. I'll put the link below. It's also to do with the offer of the code word that is in this episode. So I highly recommend that. You can binge listen. It's a course, it's an activation, it's everything you need. The energy of rebirth is here, my love. Happy New Year very soon, or maybe it's a fresh new year when you're listening to this. I am rooting you on. Everything is possible, and I will connect with you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to the Awakening Her podcast, your go-to for real life manifestation. If you enjoyed the show, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening from. Reviews really help the show. You can also find me after the show on Instagram at Talia Joy Manifestation. And listen, love, I know that you are ready to stop spinning your wheels and hustling and doing a bunch of stuff, and you're ready to make the money you want to make, to feel the way you want to feel. And if this is the case for you, then you are absolutely in the right place. I'm so excited. And if you're ready to jump into the implementation, you can check out On the Path. The link is below. Remember, all manifestation starts on the inside. I'll see you in the next episode.